Om Shanti. Yesterday, you all have listened the Murli. In that Murli, Babdada explained and given us the invitation to become the angel also. And he has invited us all to come to the sweet silence home. So continuing of that Murli, today we will going to listen that Baba was meeting with the parties. So in that, Baba was explaining us various examples that how we must equal to him, how we, and also I want to request you all that just bring the feelings that first time when you came to Madhuban, remember the day, because today Bab Dada was explaining in the Murli that about the Madhuban. So all of you just recall your memories that when the first time when you came to Madhuban, how zeal and enthusiasm you are having, what promises you have made to Baba. So now we are going to listen the Murli. The date is 18/1/1975. Babdada is meeting with the groups and the topic is Promise for Transformation. How do you praise Madhuban? You all know the importance of Madhuban. So how do you praise Madhuban? You call it the land of transformation. All of you have come to the land of transformation. The land of, other name of the Madhuban is the land of blessings. Do you experience blessings in yourself or in others? To come here means to receive blessings and to bring about transformation. What do you have to transform now? Baba is asking us. When you come to Madhuban, what we do? We want to transfer our bad habits. So Baba is asking, what do you have to transfer now before you leave here? You have to transfer whatever particular weaknesses and particular sanskars that from time to time become obstacles. Only then would it be said that you brought that about transformation in yourself. You arrive here with special zeal, enthusiasm, and deep love. You feel that when you first came to Madhuban, how zeal, enthusiasm, and deep love you are having to Madhuban and Baba. And so let the fire of your love become so intense here in Madhuban that all waste thoughts, all weaknesses, and all your old remaining sanskars are completely burned in this fire. When you come to Madhuban, what happens? All the waste thoughts, weaknesses, and old sanskars will be completely burnt, not burnt, but completely burnt in this fire. And what is Madhuban in other words called? Madhuban is called the great sacrificial fire, Mahayajna, of the knowledge of Rudra in which the horse is sacrificed. What does one do in the sacrificial fire? A sacrifice is made when your children wake up at Amrit Vela every day. So Baba is giving here that example of when we wake up in Amrit Vela, what we do? We will sacrifice our bad things, weaknesses. So you create a sacrificial fire of love in which you sacrifice your weaknesses. However, this is a great yajna. To come to Madhuvan means to come to the great yajna. Why is Madhuvan called the great yajna? Because here there is a fire of love of many souls at the same time. And so you should take benefit from it. When we come to Madhuvan, what happens? The power of the atmosphere, the power of the love of all souls to the Baba, that love also we will experience here. So not only our effort, but the weather of the atmosphere also will affect us. So what Baba is telling, why is a Madhvan is called a great yajna? Because here there is a fire of the love of many souls at the same time. And so you should take the benefit from it. Just as you come sometimes, make a promise to yourself, or you have a thought in the same way. Do you also make a promise to yourself in Madhuban? Baba is asking, do you make a promise when you come to Madhuban? Think a while. The first day when you came to Madhuban, what promise you have done? What do you think? Do you put such sacrificial offerings into the fire that they finish completely for the future? Do you put such sacrificial offerings into the fire that they finish completely for the future? You should put the greatest sacrificial offerings and not ordinary offerings into the great yajna. Because how big the yajna is, that much powerful the offerings must be. So Baba is telling that you must put completely all the offerings in this yajna, not ordinary ones. Huh? Have you sacrificed the offerings into the fire of love of many souls altogether? Have you sacrificed the offerings into the fire of love of many souls altogether? As you are returning from here, have you put in the sacrificial offerings, or are you taking them back with you? So Baba is asking, did you put all the offerings, all the things in the sacrificial fire, or would you taking your weaknesses with you? Or are you wondering which sesame seeds and which grains to offer? Because in the yajna, what we do in the practical way, in the Laukik life, in the yajna where they will offer the sesame seeds and the grains. Baba is asking here, are you thinking that which grains and which sesame seeds should I offer? Do you think every time you come to the great yajna, whether you have to put any offering in or not? Just think for a while. Every time whenever I come, should I, or I am offering something to the Mahayajna, have you surrendered them completely, or are you going to take them back with you? Baba is asking. Does we are going to sacrifice everything, or do we are taking something back with us to whom? Or the offering sacrifice completely, or do they still remain? You don't still think that they will be useful in the old world, do you? Because what are the weaknesses we are going to give here, they are very useful for me in the old world. Do we think like that? It happens that if a person is weak, he would pull his hand back. See, Baba is giving this beautiful example here. If the person who is sacrificing something is weak, then because of the heat of what is being sacrificed, would fall into the fire and half would split outside the fire. In the practical world, when we sacrifice, when we make an yajna and when we fire it up, when we want to put something into the fire, when we are weak, then the fire will make our hand burn. So we will back our hand back. In the same way, Baba is telling here, the example is given like that because of the heat, half of what is being sacrificed would fall into the fire and half would be split outside the fire. Here too, you wonder whether you should do it or not. Will it be possible or not? These are questions we will get. Will I will be able to do this or not? You keep moving the hand of your intellect backwards and forwards. That means sometimes we want to do sacrifice and we do sacrifice, and sometimes we get the negative thoughts that can it be possible with me or not. This is why you can't make the complete sacrifice. Sometimes some things still remain and the offerings spill. So what happens when we don't do full sacrifice? That means it will be spilling out. When there isn't the total sacrifice, there isn't be total success. See, Baba has given the beautiful mantra of success. If we want full success, because we all want the success in our life, we want total success in our life, in any field. So what is Baba told? If we want full success, we need to do total sacrifice. Then you think a lot. Then you think a lot, but do very little, and so you receive less fruit. See why we are getting the less fruit? We think a lot, but do very little, and so you receive less fruit. At first, when you have little courage and your thought isn't powerful, there isn't that power in the actions you perform, and there is therefore very little fruit is received. Why we are getting little fruit? Baba is explaining us. Because we think a lot but do very little. What do you do then? You spill half here and half somewhere else. So that does not bring any success, does it? What is the result of all of you? Were you successful? Were you be able to make the complete sacrifice, or was it split? Now, whatever you have thought about, you have to bring that about in yourself practically, so that from today, the weaknesses will not emerge again. Whatever the thought we took in the Madhuban, we must be follow that, and no weaknesses must not emerge in our life again. Do you have the courage to sacrifice them completely, or do you lack this? What if destruction does not take place? How Maya will come see? These all questions will be coming to us when we take a oath, or when we want to sacrifice our weaknesses. What if heaven doesn't come? Will I reach there or not? These all questions come. What will people say? Do not be clever in this way. This is a condition of everyone. Baba is giving the result that if you don't follow that, then this will be the condition of everyone. You put your hand forward very easily, but when you feel the heat, you pull it back. You have courage, but when the slightest obstacle comes, you step backwards. what would become of such souls? You know about liberation and salvation, do you not? Baba is asking, what would you become of such souls? You know about liberation and salvation, do you not? If someone does not do this, even while being knowledgeful, what would you say to this? We know everything that what to do and what not to do. Still we are not doing. Then what we need to say to him? If you if you take something back, what would become of you? What would you say if someone deliberately doesn't do this? Because we know everything. We must not, when once we given something to Yajna sacrificed, we must not take it back. But if we, after knowing also, we are all doing this same thing. Even while being the form of light and might, why are you not able to do this? What is the reason for this? Okay, you have the knowledge intellectually. You have the understanding intellectually. But still you are not able to do this.
It's been silence for a minute. I believe brother has lost internet connection. Would anybody like to continue reading? Because brother is unable to join. There is an internet connectivity issue, is what he's mentioned.
Hello, Om Shanti. Do you audible?
Yes, you're audible,
Thank
Sadishwar.
you. Thank you. Sorry for interruption. My internet was not working.
No problem. It's drama planned.
Sorry. So Baba was explaining us, when you come to Madhvan, when we sacrifice something, so what kind of questions we will get and what we are missing. We understand very nicely intellectually. We know the knowledge. We do everything. But what we do, we don't follow it. We don't emerge what we are know. So now our duty is what we know, we must be practice that one. Now, whatever you have the thought, sorry, you have, Baba is giving a beautiful example here to understand this one practically. You have the food and you also eat it, but it is not one thing to eat it and another thing to digest it. Because when we are eating, there are two different things. There are food in the plate. When we eat it, we need to digest it also. So there are two different things. What we do, you do not merge it into yourself. You can't digest it, and so you don't get its juice, and you don't receive any energy. How does we when we eat the food? When we digest, then only we will get the energy. In the same way, here we understand, we take the food, but we don't digest that knowledge. That's why we are not getting the energy of the knowledge. So if you just taste something with your tongue, you won't be able to create the juice, and so you won't receive any energy. Only when you immerse it into yourself, you become an embodiment of power. See, we listen the Murli, we understand the Murli, we know everything. But when you don't immerse it, when you don't interrogate in yourself, when you don't make the dharana of that Murli, then it will not become our power. So now today, takeaway point, beautiful point is, whatever we listen, whatever we understand, we must be taking that point in ourself. We must be follow that one. If you don't merge it into yourself, you have only tasted with your tongue. Whereas when you immerse it, you receive the power. Baba is telling, when you taste any food, it doesn't become your power. It must be digested in yourself. Then only it will become your energy. In the same way, if you taste the knowledge, it will not become your power. You experienced the sweetness by listening. You understood it. You understood it, but don't merge it, and you don't put it into your practical form. If you don't merge it, you don't put it in the practical form. Only when it is relieved through your dharana, when you have created sanskars with it, will the practical form of the success be visible. Then only our success will be visible in the karma. What does it mean to be knowledgeful? Now, Baba's next question. What does it mean to be knowledgeful? To be knowledgeful means that knowledge should be merged in every physical organ. What does it mean? To be knowledgeful means that knowledge should be merged in every physical organ. You should know what you have to do and what you must not do. Will there then be any question of being deceived? Your eyes and attitude will not be deceived. When the soul becomes enlightened with knowledge, we need to check ourselves. If we are deceiving with our eyes, with our organs, that means we are not knowledgeful. When we are knowledgeful, then we will not be deceived from these things. All the all knowledge becomes merged in all the physical organs. Just as you are filled with energy by eating food and you are able to work on the basis of that energy. How much we are having energy, that much we will work in the same way. So you know how to merge knowledge into yourself. Here also, what we are main thing, we must be immerse the knowledge into ourselves. Make every physical organ knowledgeful. We must make every physical organ knowledgeful. You come here every year. What will you do? You all come to Madhuban every year and you say that you will now do this. You return from here having made a promise. Now, when will you fulfill this promise? Baba is asking every one of us that whatever the promise you made in Madhuban, when you are going to fulfill that promise? What is the reason for the difference in what you think and what you do? What is the reason for this? You think of doing something completely, but you are only be able to do it by half. What is the reason for this difference? You create many plans. When you come to Madhun, what you do? You create many plans. You have a lot of enthusiasm and you make a promise with full understanding. We make a promise with full understanding. All types of situations will come, but there is a difference between the understanding and the practical. What is happening? There is a difference in understanding and the practical. What is the reason for this? Baba is explaining that reason also. What is the reason for this? If you go from here, having sacrificed all your sanskars, where do they are emerged from? When you sacrificed everything here in Madhuban, so from where they are emerging back? Why do they return if you have sacrificed them? Baba is asking. If you are really sacrificed, why do they are returning? And what is the reason for the body consciousness and carelessness to return? The reason is that just as after sowing, see here Baba is giving one more example to understand the situation. The reason is just as after sowing a seeds, you look after them carefully. So you go from here with the thought of sacrificing them, but together with the thought, you need to take care of it. But you don't take care that you should. What we do, just we sacrifice the thing. After going back, we don't care about this. As Baba is explaining that when we sow a seed, what we do, only sowing is not important. After that, we need to take care of it. We need to give the water. We need to give the nice atmosphere of that. Then only the seed will come up with the beautiful trees. So the reason is that just after sowing seeds, you look after them carefully. So you go from here with the thought of sacrificing them, but together with the thought, you need to take care of it. But you don't take care of that you should. According to the time, you need to take the necessary care of it. But you sow the seed and then become careless. You think now that you have given it to Baba, Baba has to look after it. What we think? Now I have given it to Baba, Baba must look after it. That it is Baba's duty now. You do not sustain it. What the thought we have sacrificed, we don't sustain it. You need to pay attention to your thoughts and words. After sacrificing also, what we need to pay? We need to pay the attention to your thoughts and words. Just as after sowing a seed, you water it so that it reaps. It reaps, and you have to water it every day. In the same way, you have to revise the seed of thought. What we must do, what the promise we have made in front of Baba in Madhuban, we must put the watcher every day. Every day means we need to pay attention on our, we need to revise that seed of your thought. Okay, you lack this, you lack this, and you then become free from any concern. You leave it to Baba. What we do? Baba must take care. Baba, I have given to Baba. We will be thinking like that. What would you call those who are not concerned about their thoughts or about their promise? They become those who love rest and comfort. You should not be those who have sanskars of loving rest and comfort, but those whose thoughts are filled with the concern. There should be concern for each and every sanskar. The stain of something missing in even one aspect of your efforts is visible as very big stain. They say na, in the white dress, when we put a dot of black also, it looks very, we can see from the far also. In the same way, if we once again get the same weaknesses, so it becomes a stain on us. Then there is always the thought that even one small stain will reduce your value. Your thoughts should be in the form of concern. If they are not this, then there is carelessness. If you are not doing the things, means you are carelessness. You say something, but you don't do it. Baba is explaining elaborately. You say something to Baba, but you don't do this. You should put the method given last into a practical form, but the sanskars of the rest and comfort of deity stage now pull you more. The sanskars of confluence aged Brahmins, which are of embodiments of renunciation, have not emerged as much. Without renunciation, you cannot create your fortune. Without renunciation, we can't create our fortune. To think, acha, I will do it later, I will see about it later, are the sanskars of someone who loves rest and comfort. जो सुस्त होंगे, what they think, I will do it later, I will see about it later, are the sanskars of someone who loves rest and comfort. Someone who says, I will definitely do it now. What we must have the thought? I will definitely do it now, as the sanskars of a Brahmin. Brahman mana kya? I will do it definitely. This is a sanskars of a Brahmin. In a worldly study, those who are concerned about their studies are the ones who pass because they are even ready to lose their sleeps. See, Baba is giving one more example here. That in the Laukik, when we want to pass our exams, when we are studying, they will, if they want to pass in their exams, what they will do? They will lose their sleep too. How can those who love rest and comfort pass? Baba is asking, if we are happy in our rest and doing the comfort, feel our comfort, then how we will pass our exams? You are still now thinking about going to do it practically. You should be concerned. You should have pure thoughts and have to concern to become perfect. The concern to remove your weaknesses and the concern to give practical instant fruit. Acha. Om Shanti. Now just sit for a few minutes in silence. And what are the takeaway points? Just recall all the takeaway points from this Murli, what I need to follow today. Because Baba today explained very nicely. And we can churn the Murli. Sit for a few minutes in silence and Om Shanti. You can unmute yourself and you can revise the takeaway points, what you are in from the today's Murli. Yes, you can unmute yourself and you can. Yes, Ombai. You can unmute yourself and you can. Rakhi Ben or.
Om Shanti. The
Om
point
Shanti.
that Baba made today is giving the example of eating food. And he
Yeah.
said, when you eat food, only when you digest will it convert into the energy that's required to work. In the
Yes.
same way, when you're taking knowledge and when you put that knowledge in practice, is only when it will be supporting you.
Yes.
So that's the practical point for one to look at, and for me also to reflect as to where are the gaps on the dharana.
Yes. Not only understanding and listening the Murli or Gyan or knowledge, but we need to come into practical form if we want to make it as our energy. Very nicely said. Very good point. Yeah.
Om Shanti, Divine Family. Wonderful Murli. Actually, I have a flight at flight to board, so that's why. Yeah, the related point to this, what Rakiban just shared is that the Baba also says that every organ should be knowledgeful.
Yes.
So that point also, it was a very wonderful point, and if you practice, I mean, it will really soul becomes an embodiment of the vision, attitude at a high level, at the highest level. Om Shanti.
With that, Baba has explained that we can check ourselves that if any organ is deceived, means we are not in the practical form of the Gyan has not came into our organs.
Yes, because
If they deceive.
when we digest the food, it goes to each and every organ through the blood.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Same.
similar analogy, if we apply to our training of knowledge, that every point should go to each and every organ and the subtle organs, then it creates an effect. Om Shanti.
Very good, nicely said.
Other example that Baba gave today is about what happens in Lokik Yagya.
Yeah. There are
And,
three and four examples are there today's Murli.
yeah, well, the way Baba is explaining today's Murli is giving, it's so much of clarity to look at how do
Yeah.
we scan gaps.
Yes. What we are doing, what is missing in our life,
Yes.
small things, why we get the negative thoughts. Because when we sacrifice something in the fire, when we are weak, that when the fire comes to our hands, then we will bring our hands back.
Yeah.
We will spill it something on the ground and something in the yajna, fire. In the same way we do here in our practical life.
Yeah. So what I was getting here is a reflection. We say we are surrendered completely, but after surrendering us, whatever we are dealing with, we still keep on thinking about it.
Yes. Can I do it? Is it possible with me? Like that, we get a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So, and with that, Baba is continually explaining about the power. After that, Baba explained that if we eat the knowledge, that means if we listen the thing, not only listening, we need to imbibe to get it embodiment of power of the knowledge. So he explained the subconsequent, that means the way to get the power also in the Murli. And given one more example also in the Murli. Anybody is going to,
Right?
yeah, sowing a seed. And one more example also Baba is given in this. Fourth example. Anybody is going to share? About the students who is studying. Because when they are studying,
It's about when you appearing for Lokshya exams, you will
yeah,
sacrifice your sleep.
yes. That was also an example.
Yeah.
So there were the four examples to explain us very deeply about the Murli. Anybody is going to share? Yes, Girija Ben, Lata Ben. Okay. I think everybody is busy in imbibing the knowledge.
Yeah.
So
So
now,
first knowledge and remembering the first visit to Madhuban. That's another
yes,
thing that Baba is speaking in today's Murli.
yeah, because coming to Madhuban and making the promises, because it's a not only Mahayagya, but it's a full of love also, Baba told. Is a filled with full of love. So in the love, we sacrifice many things. So that's coming to Madhuban and making the promises and going back and sowing. It's like in sowing a seed. But what Baba told, we need to take care it daily. How we put the water when we sow a seed, the same way we keep attention to that seed. Then only we can see that transformation in our organs. We don't deceive from the organs. We must very concerned about that I need to do it if we want success in my life. We must not be lazy. Okay, we go forward. Do meditation for a few minutes.
Dada, would you be taking us through commentary or do you want us to be in silence?
Anything if you want. You can sit in silent, fly to Madhuban and feel the experience of the Madhuban, the four Dham and the Baba's love. Just enjoy the Madhuban. See, we are going towards Baba's hut. Feeling the love of Baba. In the Baba's hut. Just move forward and come and sit in the Baba's room. Feel that power of knowledge. In the Baba's room. See that power in the Baba's eyes. Feel the same power in yourself. And just move forward slowly towards the Tower of Peace, where you can feel the Mahayag. You can sacrifice all your weaknesses in front of Tower of Peace. See how powerful the Mahayagna is. See how lovely the Mahayagna is. You're sacrificing your weaknesses. You're getting full energy. You're becoming light. You're just flying because you sacrificed all your weaknesses. You became pure light. Just the light. Nothing else. Just shiny light. Flying. 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 And enjoying the power from the light, supreme light, just becoming equal to him by sacrificing everything, just equal to him. Giving the light, that power to this whole universe with the supreme light. and spreading the power to this whole universe and making each and everyone powerful, peaceful, and light. Stay in this lightness throughout the day and experience the light with always with you. Om Shanti.
Om
Thank
Shanti.
you. Thank you, each and everyone. Divine souls.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Satish Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. We meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.